This is what happens when you don't have your script directly in front of you, ladies and gentlemen. Back on Get Up, and our next step is Green Bay, where the Ravens and Packers will play a monster game Saturday night with Lamar Jackson's status very much in doubt. He's dealing with a back contusion and considered day-to-day with his team on the brink of playoff elimination. Now, there's a lot at stake for both teams this Saturday. With a win, the Packers would clinch a playoff spot and eliminate the Ravens from postseason contention, while a Ravens win keeps them alive at least through Sunday, as they are hoping for a Steelers loss. Pittsburgh will be in Cleveland. Back on the desk with a script. Roz, we begin with you. We know Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson haven't had a lot of success in the postseason. Adam Schefter brought this up yesterday. 3 total wins with those two working together. Is it a certainty that they're both back next season with Baltimore?
I'm going to say no, and the reason is that they are at an inflection point with Lamar Jackson's contract. There are 2 years left, no guaranteed money, and if they do nothing, the cap hit is almost $75 million. So they have to address it in some way. Most teams, I think would do it as an extension, and the Ravens very well may. I mean, no one's going to fault them for doing that. This is the best player in the league. But, they haven't had success with him. If he misses this game Saturday due to injury, that's not the first game he's missed this year due to injury. It's not the first year where he's missed a lot of games due to injury. If you are the Ravens and you get to a point where you think, you're a good, circumspect organization that makes, reasoned decisions, if you say to yourself, yeah, he's great, but if we pay him $60+ million a year, are we going to be able to build a Super Bowl team? They have built elite teams around him that couldn't get over that hump and get to the Super Bowl. So they may be able to convince themselves that, yeah, we can build an elite roster and it's just a matter of getting over the playoff hump. But I think it's worth asking the question going forward. It's also important to remember Lamar Jackson has a no-trade clause, so if they got to that point, they'd need his help.
Oh, the idea of no Lamar Jackson in Baltimore?
Yeah, it blows my mind.
Yeah,
I think Graz mentioned that they haven't had the ultimate success. You can't say they haven't had success. Right. They've been incredibly successful, and this organization has always been looking for a quarterback. And they had Joe Flacco, who was a very good quarterback, but they've never had a player like this. So the idea that this is even something that they would seriously consider, and I understand, everything's on the table when you're making these type of decisions. You want to be able to make the best possible decision, which means considering everything. But I don't know that there's any other organization in football that I would allow to even put this on the table without saying everybody in that building is nuts. They've had such a track record that you consider something like this, but it still sounds ridiculous because the hardest thing to find is a superstar quarterback. You got one. It's not one comes out every year. It's not one every 10 years. There's like 4 of them in the league at a time. You got one of them. I know he's not healthy all the time. I know you haven't had Super Bowl success, but that doesn't mean that you can't in the future. Jeff was with Peyton. It took a while to win that championship. Right. Nobody was up there like, maybe we need to cash in this Peyton Manning chip.
Well, Graz probably was. Graz probably trying to get rid of him, too.
It's important to understand.
There was a case to be
made. I'm saying is, I'm not going to go on social the rest of the day. I understand how this is going to get clipped off and all that.
Yes.
That's how
Himbo's already done that.
But the Baltimore Ravens, when you get to the point where you decide to move on from Lamar Jackson, you are not going to replace him with a better player. There is not a better player in the league. What you would be deciding is this build hasn't worked. Meaning it hasn't won a Super Bowl. Yes, they've had success. But if you're trying to win championships and you get to the point can we win a championship around this? And no, I get what you're saying. There are plenty of teams that look at the quarterback situation and say, well, if we're going to pay at that level, then it's going to make it challenging to build around it. Yeah. And, the Ravens may be in a situation where they say, well, maybe we need to invest more in the pass rush instead of just sort of getting by there every season.
And I think if you've reached that point, then you got to look at it from an organizational standpoint. And if I'm the Baltimore Ravens, I would say, well, the one thing I know we have is we have a quarterback that gives us a chance to win the Super Bowl. So if we're looking at the structure of our organization, we say, well, what we have right now isn't good enough to get over the hump. I think for me first, I'm looking around the quarterback to try to figure out what needs to change to build it back up, because that is we see organizations fail year after year because they can't find that position.
I mean, Jeff, he isn't even 29 years old. He'll be 29 at the beginning of January.
Yeah, and listen, everything has context, right? And the same thing that when Nick was bringing it up, like the Peyton Manning conversation was because we couldn't beat Brady, right? The Patriots knocked us out twice or whatever it was, and I think the Steelers, they won the Super Bowl that year. Like, it happens. Last year, they had the throw right into the Andrews drop or whatever. Like there's just different things in different moments, right? Like, all these things happen. And I'm not... The most difficult thing to find in sport is a franchise quarterback. Yeah. If you think you have one, then to J-Mac's point, and I don't think you're saying, but I'm saying that you build around that guy. That guy is, I'm not saying he's irreplaceable, but it is really difficult to find someone.
Can I say this? To me, the only way you make this decision is if you're the Baltimore Ravens and you see Lamar every single day, if you feel like he's reached his peak, and from this point on, like, we're not getting back to an MVP level. That to me is the only way you make a move like that. If not, then you continue to grow around him.
Ross, final word.
The context on that, though, is not just has he reached his peak. It's everything has a price. And it's like if we have to pay him more than Dak Prescott makes, are we going to be in a similar situation to the one the Cowboys find themselves in, which is they have a hard time building a roster around him?
I mean, and you draft better, and you do what you don't do. So
you draft better than the Ravens.
Exactly. So that you keep going. So it would just suggest to me that it's more going on than football, if that's the decision that is made. Because if you have a consistent,
you're not putting words in my mouth.
No, I'm saying I'm very careful to protect you on this, Cross, but I'm just saying in general that's not a move you make. And if you have a quarterback that's playing like that, what we've seen on the field, it's not a move that you're willing to make.
Whole picture, right?
Exactly.
The finances.
You're just looking at it.
Let's leave that here for now. We got to get to college football. We're just Harbaugh coaching for his job in Baltimore.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's coaching for their job, right? Is that a cop-out?
No,
All right, I will answer the question. I don't think he is coaching for his job. I think that John Harbaugh has shown the ability there to change a bunch of different times. I think the way that they run offense, the way they run defense, like, he's been the CEO. And since he came up as a special teams coordinator, he doesn't seem married to any scheme that is a problem. If they want to move on from John Harbaugh, it's not because of his ability to coach. It's because of maybe there's some sort of disconnect inside the building. If that is something that's happening, then they have to make the decision. But as of now, I think John Harbaugh has kind of proven that he's an adaptable manager, and if they think that it's nothing else, if the issue is that they haven't won this year, I think they'll figure out a way to win going forward with coach.
Let's stay right here on this, because we're not the only ones asking about this. John Harbaugh himself was asked about this yesterday. Take a listen.
Try to do the job, not try to keep the job, because there's no such thing as having a job, just doing a job. And so my focus is on always, it has been for the last 18 years here and the last 41 years in coaching, has been to try to do the best job I can today and fight as hard as I can so the guys have the best chance to be successful today. If we do a good enough job today, then the opportunity to do that job or a different job will be there tomorrow. And that's what you hope for.
Raj, Schefter said on this show yesterday, and he pointed this out, Harbaugh and Lamar together only have 3 playoff wins in their entire tenure together. Is it a certainty both are back with the Ravens next season?
No. Because it is time to address Lamar's contract again for the Baltimore Ravens. He has 2 years left on it, no guarantees, and if they do nothing at all, his cap number next year will be almost $75 million. So they have to figure something out, whether that's an extension or if they decide they want to, take it out for a spin and see what you could maybe get on the trade market. Now, the reason to do that would only be if you got to a point where you're considering all your options, which is like, look, it's year 8 and they've won 3 playoff games. Like, they've built elite teams around Lamar Jackson that still weren't able to get it done. If you're in the business of winning championships and you're sitting there and you think and you believe that you're not going to get it done with this player, then I think you have to consider all options. I'm not saying they should trade Lamar Jackson.
Right.
I am saying it is time to extend him again. Is that a rubber stamp or is it not? And considering how difficult it was to get him signed last time, considering he's had at least 3 seasons where he's missed significant time due to injury out of the 8, and considering you haven't done what you set out to do with him at quarterback, I think it's a conversation that I don't think it is insane to think about having.
Is it insane?
Yeah. Yeah. Give me that rubber stamp immediately. So, like, it sounds outrageous. It's not the first time I've heard somebody float this as an idea, which makes it feel a little bit more legitimate, which is concerning and scary. But it suggests to me, if you want to win a championship, it's hard for me to imagine a scenario that you get closer to winning a championship if you're willing to move on from a two-time MVP, future Hall of Fame quarterback who's in his prime right now.
I just want to make it clear what I'm saying. I do not believe the Baltimore Ravens, if they moved on from Lamar Jackson, would be able to replace him with a better player. I don't think there is a better player than Lamar Jackson. What I'm talking about is a situation in which the franchise is confronted with, okay, he needs another contract. At this point, that probably means $60 million a year. What does that mean for the rest of our build? And if it's going to make it too difficult to do what we think we need to do to win a championship, do we want to see what we can? Because again, you're not going to just cut him. Like, you would get something of significant value in return. And that might help you with that build. So I just think the Ravens is maybe the most disappointing team in the entire league this season. I think it's the kind of situation where you have to examine all your options.
I kind of lived in this world with Peyton Manning a little bit, right? When you run into the situation what's happened in Kansas City, where you get a team that just continues to win and goes to the Super Bowl every year. Yeah, we had it with the Patriots and Tom Brady, right? It's really difficult because people start looking at your playoff. Oh, he's not. Okay, I get it. Then you run into Josh Allen's of the world. Like, there's explanation. You got to put it in context, right? Of like why they haven't been. So, to Dan's point, there's definitely a conversation to be had. And as an organization, you always have to have difficult conversations. But when you're talking about, you've already built your organization around Lamar Jackson. To strip this down and change up the style of play would be really difficult again. Because again, there's not another quarterback in the league that fits that model.
Right.
And that's
what I'm saying. Change the model.
That's right.
Like, to your point, you say context, right? Like, oh, he's run into Josh Allen, he's run into Patrick Mahomes. Lamar Jackson has been favored, Hembo sent me this, in 4 of his 5 playoff elimination games that he lost. Like, that is, so it's not that he's running up against better competition.
J-Mac, get in here.
And I look at this, and I understand what Graz is saying, that you have this conversation. If you're having this conversation, you damn sure better be right. I look at it on the NBA side. We just watched Luka Doncic get traded in the prime of his career, and a lot of the conversation